This is a HeadGum podcast.
Folks, it's time to get Quip. Me and Joe do it. It makes toothbrushing easy. Brushing your teeth, just like making love. The kind of thing you don't really know if you're doing it right till you start doing it right. And folks, Quip is brushing done right. It's the new electric toothbrush that packs just the right amount of vibrations into a slimmer design at a fraction of the cost of bulkier traditional electric brushes. It has guiding pulses that alert you when to switch sides, making brushing just the right amount of effortless. It's true, you really don't have to think about it. It lets you know when to move on to another quadrant of your mouth. Quip also comes with a mount that suctions right to your mirror and unsticks to use as a cover for hygienic travel anywhere, whether it's going in your gym bag or your carry-on. And because the thing that cleans your mouth should also be clean, Quip's subscription plan, or subquiption plan, surprised they didn't think of that, I'll have to let them know, refreshes your brush on a dentist-recommended schedule. They deliver new brush heads every 3 months for just $5, including free shipping worldwide. Quip's backed by a network of over 10,000 dental professionals, including dentists, hygienists, and dental students. Most toothbrushes don't get named one of Time Magazine's best inventions of the year, but Quip did. It's time to find out for yourself why. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/CU right now, you'll get your first refill pack free with a Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/CU. GETQUIP.com/CU. Folks, it's going to be love at first brush.
Howdy, Hellions. Welcome to another episode of We'll See You in Hell. Over there is my dear friend, Patrick Walsh.
Oh, you had me with the dear friend, but the sarcastic tone kind of turned me off a little bit.
No, I was doing like ladies and gentlemen here in beautiful Hollywood.
Okay. All right, then I'm fine with
Remember
it.
Remember that kind of announcer?
I do.
From back in the days, the golden days of this tinsel town?
Yes. How are you, Joe?
I'm okay. My mood is all over the place anymore. I don't know if I'm coming or going, but
I'm in the same boat.
But for the most part, I guess I'm fine. I just did a show.
How did it go?
It went well.
Okay.
But my heart is not in any of my material, right? Everything I have in my act, I don't feel like doing.
Oh.
And I have to go do shows all weekend. No, I just did shows all weekend.
Why don't you bring back the hits?
Because I can't
Grocery
remember
cart
them.
with the squeaky wheel. This guy says he's got 15 items. He's in there with 22. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Wait, what is this? 15. Say that again.
Don't you do a bit about how people say they're going to have 15 items in the 15 item or less line, but then they have 20? And then about how you always get the cart with the squeaky wheel that veers you off in the wrong direction.
My supermarket rag.
Chunk. Supermarket chunk.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. I do a
Why
thing about
do hot dogs come in packs of 8 and buns come in packs of 10, that kind of stuff.
Yep. Don't forget the generic cereals routine.
Sure.
That's
more like sucky charms.
Yeah.
I believe is your closer now, which I thought was ballsy because it's funny, but
Well, I do it with that big 4-leaf clover with the slash through it projection behind me.
Yeah.
And the Irish don't take well to that. Take kindly to that.
You were a pioneer in the field of stand-up comedy with the overhead projector in the back. Like a chemistry teacher.
Literal overhead. I project things onto the ceiling.
Yes.
It's like a planetarium-style comedy show.
And you have not yet taken my joke pitch of saying when a joke bombs, which it does, I'm sorry, occasionally for you, of saying, I guess that joke was over your head, and then parentheses, projector. I think that should be your closer, personally.
I'll try. Maybe I'll try it this weekend. Meeting Pittsburgh, which are the shows that when the listeners are hearing this are the ones I just did.
Yes,
but physically I'm not there yet because we're recording this before. But maybe I'll give that a shot in Pittsburgh.
Over, and then your has to be kind of low over your head projector, and then the parentheses have to go around projector.
But deliver it in like a sort of like a Rita Rudner.
Yes,
like throwing that last word away.
Right, exactly.
Over your head, projector.
Yeah,
like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I got you. Wendy Liebman really more is the master of that style.
Gaffigan, I guess, is sort of that as well.
Huh?
Gaffigan does a little of that as well, but with the little whisper at the end.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm saying more the
I know
like
what you meant. You meant like Subliminal Man, like Kevin Nealon.
Yeah, exactly. When somebody goes, I was really held under water. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You throw like the funny word in at the end.
Yeah,
that was Wendy Liebman's thing. She was very funny. She was very good at that. I mean, she still is. She didn't die or anything.
I tell you, I love Kevin standing. I love Kevin sitting, but Kevin Nealon's never done it for me. Folks.
That's the closer. Then when that gets no laugh, I go, I guess it went over your heads.
Projector. Folks. Joe, we're here this week to talk about Cult of Chucky, and we'll get to it. But, I tell you, I've been really digging around the old forums, the old Facebook forums, and I think people genuinely enjoy when we kind of don't talk about the movie at all. And then, your dorks get all angry about Blade Runner. Your opinion is stupid. Whatever. It's like, okay.
All right.
Yeah, all right. I guess I'll give you your money.
Do they
back.
present an argument as to why it's stupid, though? Because every single person that told me they liked it, when I was like, here's why I thought it sucked, A, B, C, D, they were like, well, yeah, well, all right. I mean, I don't know. Nobody was able to say, no, you're wrong because this is actually that, and you don't understand.
Well, if you're looking for an entertaining movie, then yeah, I guess you wouldn't like Blade Runner.
Yeah, so.
But my favorite thing that I discovered this week in the Facebook page, and I will say, by and large, it is a very supportive, friendly community as well, which I really appreciate. As always, my favorite things are when you guys post quote chains from the archives. I love it. I love,
Me too.
Sometimes we're not always there during them. It's frankly, it's nice to hear what we said. We're not always mentally present. You know what I'm saying?
I've never listened to one damn episode of this.
I find that crazy.
Tell you anything.
And I've been asking you. I want to hear this Patreon. And those of you who have signed up for our Patreon, which is at patreon.com/WSYIH.
Nope.
WSYIH.
POD.
Where's the POD come from?
Pod.
We're also a POD fan site for the band POD.
WSYIH pod.
Right. We'll see you in Hell Pod. All right, that makes sense. What was POD's big hit?
You're asking the wrong guy.
They had a huge hit.
You're asking the wrong guy. Now, if you want to dig into some Better Than Ezra.
Yeah.
Was POD a metal band?
POD was that same kind of shitty
like Disturbed?
No, they weren't that hard. They were more like a Papa Roach. I'll find it. So someone did point out, Julia Pavlina, that the game we were playing was called Secret Hitler. She's correct.
Yes.
I couldn't remember it the other day. I said fascists versus monkeys or something. Another guy said, Ed Moskowitz, he loves Cult of Chucky. I think we might disagree with you. You'll find out. But what I want to most call attention to is, if you haven't been to the Facebook page, go there. We'll see you in hell. So it's our only fan page. It's got a really nice following. And a gentleman by the name of A-Rod Dot, which I guess could be his actual name. I don't know.
Is it the baseball player, A-Rod?
No. A-R-O-D Dot. If it is your name, it's an awesome one. If it's an abbreviation, I'm sorry. I can't give you credit for your actual name. He, I guess, painted or at least drew me and Joe like in an action horror movie poster.
Yes.
We'll see you in hell. It says we'll see you in hell with Joe DeRosa and Patrick Walsh. It's got our logo designed by Joe, the devil with three.
No,
buttons.
I didn't design that.
Oh,
an artist at Fangoria, or that was commissioned by Fangoria, designed that, and then I said, "Can you put 3D glasses on it?" So it's got a movie thing. So I put that little touch in.
Right.
If it was the Writers Guild, they'd have to give me a credit on it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't know if you got close on this thing, Joe, but me and Joe were flipping out over this when I saw it this weekend. You see all the Leatherface coming after us, and all that in the background. I mean, it's just an incredible painting, and I urge you to check it out. We're going to post it on our social media, but it's incredible. Thank you so much. I was very impressed by that. There's a lot of people requesting it on a T-shirt. We'll get there, and people will be compensated as need be, etc. But
we thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. It's awesome.
A very nice A-Rod, I'm assuming, is a male name, right?
Yes.
It's a very, very cool painting. That's nice when the fans do something like that. Your buddy did that song, like the remake of
Eli Braden re-recorded the theme, which is a Joe DeRosa orig.
I did write the theme.
But you were singing it, and I asked that you put on 3D glasses, so I kind of have some credit on the song as well.
I won't give it to you.
Okay, fine.
But sure. You never said on with the Joe. I don't know if that matters, but...
You don't know if it matters? Joe, I think you underestimate why people listen to this show. Why people listen. It would have rhymed, but I couldn't fuck it up. Sorry. Here we go. Now that we've finished this 20-minute intro, let's get on with the show. And also, on Who with a Joe!
It's a classic one. And then a sound effect, little new, little old.
Exploded at the end, yeah.
It's like a Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Little old, little new. I got this letter in the mail today.
Tell me. Publishers Clearinghouse?
2 pieces of mail today that... First is from 21st Century Auto Insurance, who I'm not with.
They're trying to bring you over to the 21st century team?
I met
trying to bring you into the 21st century?
Yeah.
Insurance style?
I met with them and they passed.
Felt it wasn't a safe bet?
So it's one of these things where you get the letter that says you could save more money if you're with us. It says, out of 23,753,441 drivers in California, Joe DeRosa is one who qualified. Now,
that went out to everybody.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, but I read it just to set up the next thing. This is the kind of despicable bullshit, scam mail, whatever thing that you get. And, it's you read it and you go, really? You know what I mean? It's like when you're walking through the mall and the guy with the steamer is like, hey, man, I'm willing to give you a discount today. Oh, like just me?
Right.
Well, thank you.
Right.
It must be my lucky steamer day. So anyway. But you expect that from a bullshit run-of-the-mill company. I get this big manila envelope. It's got like red writing on it and shit. The goddamn thing looks classified. It says, do not bend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck is this? I open it. It's from Easter Seals.
Okay.
It's a calendar.
That's like a charity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For kids. Good charity. I give to a couple kids' charities. I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back. I'm saying that so I don't come off like a guy that scoffs at children's charities.
Sure.
So I open it. It's a calendar, which is why it said do not bend. And I'm like, okay.
Wait, you can't bend a calendar?
I don't know. That's not really the point. Here's the point. You ready for this?
Yeah.
It's a calendar I didn't request or anything, obviously.
Right.
They just sent it to me.
And is every date Easter, or do they
No.
open it up to other dates?
This is for seals that don't understand when Easter is happening.
It's to educate seals about
Easter,
the rebirth of Christ. All right.
And please don't send us hate comments. I'm joking. I know it's a children's charity for disabled children. It's a nice thing they're doing, but I already give to 2 other ones.
Sure.
And I'm not part of this one. And I get that they're trying to recruit people in, but I don't like how they do it. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Here's the letter. Dear Mr. DeRosa, people said we were taking, ready? Underlined, a big risk by sending out beautiful calendars.
Oh, wow.
underlined again, for free. They said it would never work. While people would surely keep their calendars and enjoy them throughout the coming year, we'd never hear back from them again. Then it goes into bold and underline. But I have so much faith in this program and in folks like you, we're going ahead anyway.
Wow. They're using my grandma's guilt tactics here.
This bugs me. It's like, Easter seals, you're supposed to be better than 21st century auto insurance.
Yep.
Don't do this.
Yep.
Don't give me this fucking rub. This is bullshit. It's like nobody ever said any of that. I don't know what state you have to
You're making a big mistake, Maria. You can't give people calendars. They'll just enjoy them.
By the way, this is what the calendar is every month. There's a picture of a flower every month.
It's not a great calendar.
So Easter, I guess, Easter's bloom and whatever, so you got flowers. This is it. What state is your life in that you get a flower calendar in the mail and you're rubbing your hands together like, I'm going to get one over on the
handicapped
charity
children.
for disabled children.
Yeah.
Nobody is saying that. Nobody's going, suckers. I'm going to have a great time with this thing.
Me and my flower calendar are going to Atlantic City.
Bought you a new dress, flower calendar.
Just fucking a flower calendar on the sofa. Pants around your ankles.
Yeah, you give it a diamond necklace in one of those big blue velvet boxes.
Hey, I was thinking more like a pearl necklace. Folks, talking about coming on the neck of a flower.
So that bothers me. Don't give me, come on, man.
I hear you.
Stop.
I hear you.
Stop. Shoot me straight. You're a charity. You're trying to help kids. Shoot us straight.
I not long ago received from my alma mater, Webster University in Missouri.
Actually owned and run by Webster.
By Emmanuel Lewis, yes, who portrayed Webster.
Well, that's why they named the show that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It was there's a guy on the cover, kind of a Sideshow Bob looking guy, like a hip young guy. And then it says, help us plant a seed in children across America. And just kind of this guy standing there smirking at you. Help me plant a seed in the children of America, kind of a thing.
Right.
I couldn't believe it. There's no quality control anymore.
No, there's none.
There's things getting thrown out.
There's
like
none.
Somebody
That's
should
a
look at this and go,
sentence.
You sure? Plant a seed in children? I think we should probably rewrite that.
Yeah. That's
just how it went out.
It's crazy. I have a problem with the wording of all these things.
Yeah.
When you go to the supermarket, it says, if
where you get a lot of your material.
Well, this is I got the whole routine, and I like to go and I'll do it while I'm in line. If the clerks laugh, I know it's good. Yeah, because they're hearing this stuff all day.
Sure.
Well, if you pay with your credit card or your debit card or whatever, most supermarkets now it'll say, "Would you like to donate $1 or $5 or $10 or whatever it is?"
I do it every time.
I never do it because I donate in other places. I don't trust something that far removed from the actual source.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
That's just me.
Yeah.
But and also ever since Defending Your Life, where Rip Torn told Albert Brooks, you don't get any credit for the people you gave to in the street. I'm like, let me make sure I give right to the main place.
Sure.
Anyway, but it'll ask you to donate. Money.
that was a comedy though, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
And here's what bothers me about the wording when they ask you for the money. They say, would you like to donate $1 to end world hunger?
Right.
It will never end.
No.
To me, that's a sales tactic. That's a pressure sale. If you're not giving money, world hunger will continue. World hunger will continue no matter what people do. It will never end. It will always be a horrible, horrible problem. So I'm not saying don't give, but don't say it to me like that, where you're trying to now get me into a guilty place that if I don't give the money, I'm somehow part of the fucking problem right now.
But isn't a big part of any charity asking, especially the people outside of a grocery store per se, guilt. It's really all they have.
I got to tell you, I never had a problem with the Sally Struthers technique.
Showing you a sick kid or whatever.
Well,
hungry kid.
Of course, the footage is always very upsetting.
Right.
It's very sad. But like, I never had a problem with somebody just saying to me, like, look, man, here's all we need. We need 65 cents a day. It's the price of a cup of coffee. This is what that will do.
That's the best tactic. Yeah.
That's just straight. It's like, here you go.
Right.
You know, I give to the children of St. Jude's Hospital.
Yeah.
Because it's very straightforward. They're like, look, here's what we do. We provide free care for kids that have cancer. No child will ever have to pay. Well, or their family will never have to pay. Be pretty harsh if they were like, fork it over, kid.
Right.
You know, but they're like, no family ever have to pay if their kid's here. We want to, these kids are in terrible condition and like we want to help them. And could you give? Here's what we could use, but anything helps. It's like, yeah, thank you. You're being honest with me. I would like to give to this charity.
Yeah.
I don't like, once tricky language and all that stuff starts coming in, then I start getting into that headspace of like, also they never tell you at the supermarket, $1 to end world hunger. Who? Who's it going to? They never tell you the name of the organization.
Yeah, I've done it every time I've gone to the grocery store, but now you have me thinking I shouldn't.
They've never once said the organization on the little machine. It just says, do you want to give money? And it's like,
maybe it's going to the guy working behind the place so he can buy himself lunch, and he just kind of sets it up.
Yeah, I also love that rap, too. Like, all these supermarkets are collecting money to end world hunger. Meanwhile, I've never been to a supermarket where there wasn't a homeless guy out front starving.
Sure.
It's like, maybe you walk outside and give that guy $1. Maybe you give that guy $5.
Yeah.
You know, it's all just something's fishy to me about the way some of these charities operate, and I don't like it.
I hear you.
And then that's common knowledge that a lot of these nonprofits just none of the money gets to the cause and all that shit.
But you mean goes the CEOs have a lot of money?
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Be charitable, folks. You know?
Yeah, be charitable.
Just I'm
not saying don't. I'm just saying
be charitable.
Hey, I agree, Patty.
Yeah,
you got anything for the movie corner? I mean, we just recorded 2 days ago, so
and we recorded 2, this and the bonus Patreon, which I meant to say earlier drops on Halloween, October 31st.
Yeah, we're gonna put the Patreon, the bonus episode, out on the last day of every month. Just coincidentally, this month it happens to be Halloween. How appropriate! But it'll go on the last day of every month because I'm not exactly sure how Patreon works yet, and I want to make sure that if you donate. I don't want to put it up, and then if you donate after, you don't get the episode. So last day of the month, it'll go up. It's already recorded. It's the topic is Pat and me discussing our favorite horror film. I discuss my favorite, and he discusses his favorite. It's a very long episode. It's about 1 hour and 10 minutes, I think. Mm-hmm. So you get a little extra for the money, and we can't thank you enough for the donations. Seriously.
If you want to hear Joe talk about Jack Frost and me talk about Uncle Sam, that's the pot. We only like horror movies with the hologram cover on the VHS box.
And not the Michael Keaton Jack Frost.
Right.
Which was scary enough.
Oh. I didn't really see anything. I went to see Depeche Mode last night.
Oh, okay.
And
how was that?
Well, I'll tell you, I guess I thought I loved Depeche Mode until I was staring down an hour of new material.
No, yeah, you can't. You got to get out of that.
Now, they didn't even fucking play Policy of Truth, one of their best songs.
They didn't?
Which, a song until I was 31, I thought the chorus was Coliseum Truth. Like... in the Coliseum Truth.
Wow. So they skipped Policy of Truth. Tell me they gave you a straight up personal Jesus and not some horse shit like broken down version or something.
No, they did Personal Jesus. They did Enjoy the Silence, which is an amazing song. And other ones. A great lost Depeche Mode track is Never Let Me Down Again. That's a fantastic song.
Did they do the lawn chair song?
What's that?
One where the guy's walking around with the chair the whole video. All I ever wanted.
All I ever needed is you here In my... That's Enjoy the Silence.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Words are very unnecessary. And the lead singer, him and this co-lead singer, they look very fit, but very old. And this guy looks like a more depraved, perverted John Waters. He's got the pencil thin mustache, and he's up there in like all leather, and it is a creepy look that honestly may have hindered my enjoyment of the show. And then his co-singer looks like Flea if Flea had been, I don't even know what to say, had been through a really traumatic, like a year being tortured kind of experience.
And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say this. Flea is not a great looking man.
No. But I mean, when they're up there singing and like on that giant bowl screen, I was like, whoo. And I mean, look, I've seen Jeff Lynne on that screen and he looked better.
I don't think Jeff Lynne is a bad looking dude.
He looks kind of like somebody who'd play in the Electric Mayhem, the Muppet Band.
I agree with that. I always felt that he looked like a sort of a dog that was turned into a man. The dog dream came true one day and he became a boy.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think he's, like, if I saw him, I would just be like, who's this guy's dad that's over here?
Right. Sure.
Like he looks like a 70s dad.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, Depeche Mode, which doesn't count as seeing something, but I saw them. And I also... I've been lightly enjoying the new season of Curb. There's scattered laughs. It's always entertaining and better than most things on television, so I can't criticize it too harshly. It's not the classics, but I'm enjoying myself.
All right, fair enough. I tried to watch the film Society.
What's that?
That's a horror movie I've heard about a zillion times.
We should do Raw, by the way, on Netflix. I hear that's
okay.
Insanely intense cannibal movie.
All right. So anyway, I saw Society.
Tell me about it.
I kind of half paid attention to it. That's why I say I tried to watch it. It's it's okay. It's just a movie I've seen a zillion times at Amoeba. I've seen the cover. I've heard about it. And then I saw it on Amazon Prime the other night, and I was like, oh, this is that cover I always see. What is this?
Who's in it?
Nobody that I would know their name. And then I looked at the description and it said not for the faint of heart or the weak in the stomach or something. So I was like, all right, let me check this out. It's about a kid who thinks his family doesn't get him and doesn't accept him. Everything's kind of strange and he thinks something's up. There's maybe some big plot. Everybody's telling him he's paranoid. Then, of course, eventually you realize his family and everybody in the high society where he lives, these sort of elite, like 1%er types, are actually this sort of big, like, congealing alien monstrous thing that wants to eat him, I guess. So I thought that aspect of it was cool. I thought it, it's from 91 or 92. I thought it was an interesting commentary on the elite.
Yeah.
And I did like that there was the aspect that they all sort of would come together in this blob, is this disgusting blob creature. I liked that was a factor in it too. But it just wasn't a great movie. It was just kind of boring, and it was a real slow burn, and it had a lot of bad acting in it. And then it would have great acting. It was very confusing. There'd be scenes where I was like, wow, that was so well directed and so well acted. Then it would go to the next scene and I'd be like, what, is this a different director and cast? Like, what the fuck is going on? So whatever. And I know that's a negative. Apologies, but I do have a positive. I also, on Amazon, I started watching The Nightmare World of H.G. Wells, which is The Nightmare World of H.G. Wells. It's an anthology series that came out this year in Britain.
Okay.
It's got it's only 4 episodes, the first season, but it's got who's the guy from
Mr. Belvedere?
It's got Mr. Belvedere. That's one of the episodes. It's just an episode of Mr. Belvedere. It's the guy from he was in Crystal Skull, and he's in Sexy Beast.
Ben Kingsley.
No. The Indiana Jones, his like sidekick in Crystal Skull. Ray
Ray Winstone.
Winstone, yeah. He plays H.G. Wells.
Okay.
And he hosts it and sort of narrates it throughout the entire episode. And
I didn't even know H.G. Wells did horror.
They're not necessarily horror. They're just chilling tales.
Okay.
So I watched the first episode and I fucking loved it. It was about this old man, the guy that plays Dumbledore in the Harry Potter movies plays him.
Michael Gambon.
Yeah.
Well, two guys played Dumbledore, actually. But.
Well, the guy that played him mostly.
Yeah.
So he plays this old man who's dying, and he goes to a very young, virile man who's brilliant and a medical student and has no money. And he says basically like, I don't know if you know me, but I'm this famed philosopher. And they're all shot, which I thought was cool, in the period that they were written in.
Okay.
So that makes it very moody when it all kind of has that like sort of a Christmas Carol kind of vibe to it, you know? Anyway, he goes to this kid and he says, look, I'm this famed philosopher. The kid knows who he is. He's like, I love your work. He goes, I'm dying. I don't have long on this earth. I need an heir to my fortune. I'm interviewing 3 people. You'd be the third that I think are worthy of my legacy. The one stipulation is you have to change your name to my name. The kid's like, okay. The kid gets the gig. They go out to celebrate. The guy drugs him. The kid wakes up the next morning. He's in the old man's body. The old man is now in his body. And then he's got to figure out how to get back to his own body. Okay. And I'm going to ruin the ending, but he goes to a restaurant.
Well, maybe don't, because maybe people want to check out the show.
Okay, well then go check it out. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
And where can you find it?
I found it on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
The Nightmare World. It might be Worlds of H.G. Wells. Check that out. And I guess we can move on to Joe's scary stuff, yeah?
Sure.
Quick one this week. Video game. I'm just going to kind of stick on this video game track that I've been on. I got the game. Did I talk about Butcher yet on the show? Video game Butcher, which was also advertised on Bloody Disgusting today, and I've had the game for a while. I should have talked about it sooner. Very fun game, super hard, super violent. I got it on the Nintendo Switch. It's also available on Steam. You play a tiny, tiny man with a gigantic gun, and you run through very alien-esque, meaning the film Alien-esque worlds, blowing people to pieces, cutting them up with chainsaws, making them splatter into blood against the wall. And that's basically it. It's just an insanely violent, futuristic, alien weirdo game. It's very fun.
Okay.
Butcher. All right. And we're at minute 31, so I guess we can just get to the movie.
We're not even asking if I have anything for scary stuff
I didn't.
anymore?
I'm sorry. I assumed you didn't. I apologize.
But I finally did it right for the first time on the last one.
Yeah.
Even though it was a repeat. Wound up being a repeat.
It's okay. What do you got?
I don't have anything. Woo!
Cult of Chucky.
Cult of Chucky. C-O-C. Now, first off...
Can I say something real quick?
Please.
I don't mean to cut you off. I'd like to tell the audience about the brief heart-to-heart we had in the bar last week.
What was this?
I don't know if you remember it.
I'm sure I remember it.
We were pretty deep in at this point. We had recorded...
I remember a spirited discussion about Manchester by the Sea, which I rewatched and fucking loved. And was thrilled to know you love as well, because many hated it.
We had recorded 2 episodes. We had drank a considerable amount.
We'd had something to drink, yeah.
We went to another bar. We drank there. We went to a third or second bar. We went there. We were drinking there. Vince showed up.
Yeah.
Then we're drinking with Vince. Before Vince showed up, we were talking about the podcast.
Yeah.
We had a very, very sweet moment where you said, Joe, I just love you, you know? Tonight on the podcast, we disagreed. Usually in the old days, we'd go at each other and insult each other. I didn't even want to do it because I love you so much. I said, Patty, I felt the same damn thing. I didn't want to insult you. It was a really beautiful, beautiful moment.
Well,
very brief, though.
Yeah, I think that there's an element of people missing our fighting, but I don't.
I don't either.
I think the world has become so horrible that why would you want to fight with a dear friend?
I agree.
We'll still always argue about movies and shit, but yeah, don't see the need. Joe, what is your history with the entire Child's Play franchise?
I created the characters.
Oh,
I wrote the first 3 films.
I mean, I think you'd be doing better, frankly.
I signed a bad deal. I signed a shoddy contract, like most wide-eyed does do when they come to this town.
Right.
No, my history is when I was a kid, I saw the first. I got to be honest. When the first one came out, there was not a movie I probably was more eager to see. I was about 12 years old when it came out. You know, I liked horror movies. They're like, here's a horror movie about a doll that murders people. Right. I was just like, sign me the fuck up.
Right.
The trailer had the shot of the babysitter being thrown out the window and falling.
Yeah. And
it was like a real stunt lady falling through the sky. Like,
I feel like 12 was the perfect age for the Chucky franchise.
Yeah. It was a great age. So I couldn't wait to see it. And I got to tell you, when I started thinking back on the franchise this week, because I knew we were going to do this, I remember seeing it and thinking it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I wasn't blown away. It certainly didn't hit me the way Nightmare on Elm Street did. I like Tom Holland quite a bit. And I like I think Don Mancini is the guy that writes and directs them, or has written all of them. I like them both quite a bit. I like their work, but I just remember just kind of being like, yeah, it was pretty cool, I guess. But I liked it enough that I wanted to see the sequels. When I was younger, parts 2 and 3, I loved because they were just nonstop like kills.
Sure.
And there was no build up to when's the doll going to turn evil. It was just like it's evil from the beginning, and it just kills everybody.
You like a simple film.
Well,
Halloween 2,
I was 14.
Child's Play 2. Yeah.
Yeah. At that point. I also remember this too. I didn't like the detail in the first film when I was a kid that it was a serial killer who possessed the doll.
Okay.
I wanted it just to be a haunted doll, like an Annabelle kind of thing, which also is basically a serial killer that possesses the doll. But as a kid, I wanted it to be like the devil doll or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I watched 2 and 3 as a kid. I really liked them. When I got older, they didn't hold my attention as much. 4 and 5, which were Bride and Seed of Chucky, I was out. I didn't care for them going meta. I didn't care for the comedic aspect. But when they announced Curse of Chucky, which is part 6, and they said it's going back to horror, it's going back to scares and whatever, I was very excited.
Now let me quickly catch up to where you're at, because I don't even know what Curse of Chucky is. I didn't know it existed. Child's Play 1 and 2, somebody started at a slumber party when I was 13. I left the damn room. As I've said before, I was a pussy. I watched 1 and 2 pretty recently. 1 is a good little thriller, I think.
Yeah, it's good.
It's well made.
I need to add that. Now that I'm older, I like 1 quite a bit.
It's well made. It's got a good sense of humor, and I like it. 2, pretty empty, pretty hollow, it was fine. And then 3 at the, what is it, military camp?
Yeah.
Fine. You know. Bride, watch with some friends, pretty stupid, you know.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Seed, who portrays the Seed of Chucky?
They have a kid.
Who's the voice?
I don't know. It's like an English. For some reason, he's got an English accent. I don't fucking know. It's that I was out with Seed.
And Curse is before Cult?
Yeah.
So tell me about Curse.
Well, Curse.
I've never seen Seed or Curse.
Curse is great.
All right.
Curse is without question, next to number 1, the best of the franchise. I mean, it's.
Why have I never even heard of it? Theatrical release?
Well, no, because it was a direct-to-video.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think a lot of people had tuned out at that point because they thought that it would just become a comedy series.
Right. What's the gist?
Fiona Dourif, who's Brad Dourif's daughter.
Yeah.
She plays, I I forget her name in the movie, but she plays this girl in a wheelchair who lives in a house. And can
I quickly ask, is Fiona Dorff in a wheelchair?
Not in real life.
Okay,
just in the movies. So she plays a girl in a wheelchair in a house. Her mother, who is very overprotective of her and shelters her, dies. Her family comes to stay with her to console her. And the Chucky doll shows up, and shit starts going batshit. And in the end of the movie, she basically gets blamed for it. The authorities think she killed everybody in the house.
Right.
So it's an intense one location thriller, much like the first one.
Yes.
It's about somebody trying to convince everybody else they're not crazy, and that this doll is alive, like the first one. And there's just cool twists. There's cool nods to the whole franchise. Like, just when you're like, wait a minute, how come Chucky's face looks fine when in the last two movies it was all like stitched up and everything?
So do they kill him and he ends up in like the box with just his head that starts Curse of Chucky? I mean, Cult of Chucky?
Well, hold on. Let me finish with Curse first. Through the movie, his face looks strangely perfect.
It did in this one, too.
And it's odd. And you're like, kind of like throughout the movie, you're like, why does it look like that?
Right.
And also in the last two movies, he had stitches in his face. Like, are they just ignoring those movies, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah. And
then toward the end of the movie, he takes like putty off his face, and you realize it was a disguise, and his face looks like Chucky from the... They just did really cool little nods like that. Mm-hmm. Like Jennifer Tilly shows up at the very end and gets the doll back, and then she mails it to this strange address at the end of the film, and then at the end of the film you realize the address she mailed it to is Andy Barclay, who's the kid from the first two movies. They brought back the actor from the first two movies because he was replaced in the third film. It did a very good job of getting it all back on track, bringing it back down to earth, showing that this doll has this vendetta against this kid. He still wants to get to him. He's going to get to him however he has to. And it was scary and intense and fun. And they also didn't have Chucky making jokes every 5 fucking minutes. That being said, I was immensely excited for Cult of Chucky because I thought, okay, here we go. We're off and running.
I've heard from many people that it's great.
Curse or Cult? I don't agree.
By the way, I think it's very, very stupid in this day and age to name 2 sequels in a row Curse and Cult. Because you might not even know there's a new one. You might be like, oh, I saw that one. And
yeah, it's a little tough. The new one, I felt, just as an overall to begin with, I felt that they basically negated every good thing they did in Curse of Chucky. They made Chucky a complete wisecracking, like, jokester again.
Was Curse well received or poorly received that would have led them to go back to the other?
Was well received enough that they got funding to do another one.
Right.
I mean, it couldn't have been that. This one had a limited theatrical release.
Well, and Cult is a great looking movie considering that it couldn't have cost more than a couple $1 million.
Yeah, no.
It was shot incredibly well on a low budget.
It's shot very well.
Great shots in it.
And it's acted well.
Yes.
But it's not...
Yes.
It's too hokey. It's too goofy.
Yeah.
And it makes no goddamn sense. And it
really made no sense.
It makes zero sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, it gets to a point in the writing. So for those of you that don't know, the reason it's called Cult of Chucky, and this is a reveal later in the film, and look, I don't think this movie is good enough to avoid spoilers. I'm sorry.
Everybody's got Netflix. If we're doing a Netflix instant title, you can always watch it before we start talking.
Right. I think so. The reveal late in the game is that Chucky has figured out a way. Several Chucky dolls are showing up at this mental institution that Fiona Dorff has been committed to. It doesn't make any sense that they send her to this thing because they believe she's a mass murderer. Then you find out later the only reason she's there is because her doctor is basically hypnotizing her and then fucking her, which is a weird, dark twist that just doesn't need to be in there. Like, I don't really get that, but whatever. I guess you need a device to get her there. So if that's the device, fine. So
now when he kisses her, That to me was the only thing I saw that indicated something untoward was happening. You went to that just was a suggestion that there was a lot more going on?
Well, he says, like, I always enjoy these little private sessions. And I was like, oh, he hypnotizes her, and then I guess he has sex with her or something. Like...
Yeah, why do we need to do that to the heroine of the film?
It's needlessly creepy. It reduces her character. It's like... But also, too, I can live with it if you're saying we need a way for the doctor to get her here. I think it'd be much cooler if the doctor believed in her in some way and brought her there, which is what he tells his bosses.
Right.
That's how he gets her there. I think it's much cooler if that were true and the one person that believes in her gets killed. Instead, it's everybody's against her and everybody thinks she's crazy until it's too late. So, whatever. But it's called Cult of Chucky because a bunch of different dolls show up, and then you realize Chucky has figured out a way to put his Charles Lee Ray, the killer, has figured out a way to put himself or his essence into several different bodies at once. For some reason, he's choosing to only do this with more dolls. I don't know why. He's not just putting himself into people, which is his whole goal in the first 3 fucking movies, is to just get into Andy Barclay's body.
Right.
So he doesn't have to be in a goddamn doll anymore.
Right.
But he decides instead to do this very convoluted plan of putting himself into several doll bodies.
Yeah.
And then going after not Andy Barclay, but Fiona Dorff's character. So...
But Andy Barclay's in it.
He is in it.
Same kid?
For some reason... Well, he's got the head of the doll from Cult of Chucky.
Yeah.
Or from Curse of Chucky.
Now did he get that in Curse of Chucky?
He gets it at the end of Curse of Chucky.
That I enjoyed when he's like giving a joint to Chucky and they're like fighting. I liked all that shit.
I thought that was very cool.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I don't know. I don't get it. They never really explained, like, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to shit on Don Mancini, but it gets to a point with the writing where it's like, dude, how long did you think about this? For 10 seconds? Like, right. Chucky actually says at one point, he goes, thanks to a spell I learned on voodoo.com, I can now put my spirit into every... It's like, really? This is the plot?
Yeah.
You know?
At least bring in the Jamaican woman to give him the spell.
Something.
Here was my initial frustration with it. I had been looking forward to it, A, because I had heard all the positive feedback.
Me too.
And B, because I was expecting it to be an actual cult. So in my mind, either it was Chucky running a cult, like that people were like like wanting to fuck him and like under his spell, basically.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, right there, Cult of Chucky. I'm like, what a sweet idea for a movie. Or... a cult of people, because I knew that at some point it became a new Nightmare type thing where there was like Jennifer Tilly played herself,
right?
Which she does in this one very confusingly.
Or that's the 5th one. Yeah, it's that's another confusing part.
Yeah,
you don't really. It was very hard to tell if Jennifer Tilly was Jennifer Tilly or if she was the Charles Lee Ray girlfriend. And then she even says at one point, "It's I lose track sometimes."
Yeah.
And then there's the whole thing where it's like Chucky's whole, like in the end of this is the part that made no fucking sense to me. So at the end of the movie, when all the dolls but one are dead, I think it is, Chucky decides he's going to put his spirit into Fiona Dorff.
Yes.
So he does this. She then magically can walk. Mm-hmm. That makes no sense whatsoever. Your ability to walk has nothing to do with your personality or essence.
No.
So that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. But suddenly she can walk fine. And by the way, she's been in a wheelchair her entire life. Stands up immediately. Yeah. No atrophy in the leg. Nothing. Can just walk. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
He decides to go into her body, and you're like, okay, well that's odd. He's always wanted to go into a male body. Why is he now going to maybe Chucky has changed. Okay, I'll accept it. Because there's a perfectly handsome, young, fit man that he could go into, and he chooses instead to murder him and then go into the girl's body, who's crippled, yet he knows he'll be able to make her walk somehow. So you go, okay, maybe Charles Lee Ray just wants to be a woman. Maybe this is a take on gender and the gender discussion. Okay, cool. Then, fine, I've accepted that. Then at the end of the movie, he walks outside. Fiona Dorff and Jennifer Tilly make out, and then Chucky and Fiona Dorff's body just goes, well, that was different. And Jennifer Tilly's like, I don't mind it. And she's like, okay. You know what I mean? It's like, well, why is that part in there then?
Yeah.
To take that part out. You're going to have him going to a woman and then he's going to be weird about it? Like,
right.
Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense. And then the female girlfriend, the bride doll, is in the back seat at the end for some reason. The kid still hasn't shown up to see to Chucky. And they drive off, and I'm like, where does this even go at this point? Chucky just not only went into the body of a person that goes against the type of body he's been trying to get into for the entire series. You want me to just swallow that on an immediate dime? Fine. Okay, fine. But not only that, he's also now gone into the body of the woman that everybody believes is responsible for several murders.
Yeah.
The whole reason he leaves his body in child's play is because the police are closing in on him and he's a fucking murderer.
Right.
So he does a voodoo thing to go into a doll to hide himself, thinking I'll get out again and then I'll be free in a new body. So at the end of this thing, he finally gets into a goddamn human body, and he goes into the body of somebody that everybody thinks is already responsible for the doll crimes. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
I'm still trying to process your use of the phrase, I'm expected to stop on an immediate dime. That's what's holding me up. But Cult of Chucky, to continue my sentence from 30 minutes ago.
Sorry.
No. I enjoyed that thoroughly. Either Chucky's a cult leader or Tilly, etc. Like, we're now in like the postmodern world where everyone loves the Chucky movies, and you do a Scream thing where they're like a cult and they love Chucky and they're trying to like somebody's trying to act out murders in his name or whatever.
Yeah,
but the title promises a lot of fun that isn't there. And when it opened in an asylum, like so many other horror movies, I was like, I don't even want to watch this now. There's nothing more dreary and boring than an asylum to me. They always go there. I like Shutter Island. I know you didn't. Thought Cure for Wellness was okay. I didn't like the horror story in the asylum. I get tired of it. I like Cuckoo's Nest, but I think when he says this is a Cuckoo's Nest, they're trying to do a nod to Brad Dourif playing Billy Babbitt in Cuckoo's Nest.
I would imagine so.
Which is an amazing character, an amazing performance, but I'm sure Dourif is just like, really, guys? You're going to remind everyone that I was once nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and now I'm voicing Part 6 in a doll murder franchise? 7?
Yeah. But here's the thing. I don't think Dourif minds. I think he's like into these things.
Yeah,
I think he's having a good time.
He's getting paper.
But it's also too, it's in a lot of ways it's his legacy, which is cool. It's like Robert Englund being Freddy and whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean all of it's good, but I respect that. But you know, the thing is, it's also in this, it's not just in an asylum, it's in this weird uber like futuristic modernistic fucking asylum. Like it's not, which to me hurts the atmosphere of the film. It looks beautiful,
right? But
when everything is slick and gorgeous and white and silver and chrome and what, it's not scary. The environment is not scary. No. It looks actually like a nice. I remember thinking through the movie like, this doesn't look so bad to live in this place.
Well, it seems incredibly not strict. I mean, before you're even oriented with the setting of the story, two of the inmates are fucking each other. You know, I was like, they're fucking each other in a stairwell, one of them in a wheelchair. These are two insane people, and an orderly doesn't notice. Like,
and then a guy with multiple personalities who's potentially violent talks about how his outside privileges were taken away, which you're like, would he have outside privileges? And then he disobeys the restriction and goes outside, and then nothing happens.
Right.
There is no repercussion for it. There's no repercussion for anything in this film.
No.
Everything seems to have just been thought. Also, too, like Chucky, in the first few movies, the murders Chucky would commit there was a linear sense to there was a journey he was on. He had a goal, and to get to the end goal, or the end game rather, he had to kill people.
Right.
Because that's how he rolled, and I got to get rid of this guy so then I can get to that guy, so then I can get to this lady, so then I can get to that lady. And this had none of that. This had just him being like, I'm just going to kill people for fun. The other thing, too...
Woman chained up, and then he throws that compressed thing into the air so it shatters the glass above her. I'm like, so is he Jigsaw now?
Well, and then also a broken
why the
piece
elaborate traps?
A broken piece of glass cutting a woman's
Cuts her head off.
It's like, come on. And the
guy with the multiple personalities, he has one personality a day. I know. Again, I'm not watching a documentary, but so one day he's Mark Zuckerberg, the next day, that's not how multiple personality works. Like, go at least go to the Wikipedia page of multiple personality disorder.
Well, here's the thing. I have no beef with if you want to portray it in a much zanier way than what's real.
Yeah.
But for Christ's sakes, how about you tell your actor, do a different voice for this personality.
Do something different.
He's doing literally the same voice and everything for every personality, and then he just goes, and then she just goes, oh, he goes, I created a social media site, and then she just goes, oh, so today you're Mark Zuckerberg. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Stupid.
The other part that really bothered me, another huge logic hole, was when Chucky's talking to the one lady who thinks nobody can see her or whatever, and he goes, because that morning they're in the group therapy, and she goes, Chucky called me on the phone last night, and you think she's obviously just being crazy. And then later when she runs into Chucky, he's like, you're the crazy bitch I talked to on the phone. It's like, I'm sorry, the committed woman is answering the main phone at the asylum? And then Chucky is so sloppy that he's saying it's Chucky. Tell the
hello,
girl
it's me, Chucky,
that I'm coming over there.
Yeah. Why is Chucky going to the asylum?
I don't know.
Did he have a grudge against Wheelchair Girl?
They explain in Curse of Chucky her relation to the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I can't remember what her relation to the original thing is, the original story is, but she's got some tie to it. So that's kind of why she's there, and that's why Jennifer Tilly is mailing these dolls to people, because she's exacting Chucky's revenge for him, or helping him do it. So there is a connection. I'm blanking on what it was.
Now,
I guess his bloodlust will always outweigh his rationale or his logic, or like just the fact that he apparently can jump into any fucking body he wants. So go jump into Tom Cruise's body, or something. Like, why? Like, what? I don't get it.
And why was she breastfeeding him and then killed him?
She didn't kill him. Because she killed her baby.
Put a pillow over him.
Because she killed her baby. That's why she was in there.
No, I know. I got that. But then she's breastfeeding him and then killing him. And then it opens up her actual real dark drama of why she killed her own baby.
Yes.
With like 10 minutes to spare in the movie. This is what we're doing.
No, it was a little earlier than that. I'll be fair, but it wasn't. Look, I'm not saying it was good writing.
I did like when Chucky said he got to suck on a titty.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. It's.
I mean, look, it's a bad movie. I mean, I think in addition to me not wanting to fight with Joe, we find ourselves agreeing on everything because everything is very bad.
I'll tell you, dude, I'm terrified because you know how much I love Star Wars, and I got to tell you, I can't remember the last time I've seen anything that came even remotely from Hollywood. Forget about the big budget shit. I was watching that clip with Thor today.
Thor Ragnarok.
Well, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
He was on some like Australian talk show promoting Thor Ragnarok, And then they first of all, they show a clip from the movie. And it's him and the Hulk in the clip. And he's talking to two other like Asgard warriors or something. And he goes, I need to assemble a team to take down the bad guy in Thor Ragnarok. And the lady, the female one goes, what are we called? And he goes, the Revengers? And I'm like, this is like a Leslie Nielsen level joke at this point. In these fucking Marvel movies. Yeah. Anyway, that's not my point. My point is,
I'm excited about, excited is way too strong because I hate all superhero movies, but more excited about Thor Ragnarok because of the director who did Hunt for the Wilder People, which I loved. Taika Waititi or whatever. And I like a lighter tone in this shit. But yeah, I mean the trailer appears to be like almost like date movie, scary movie, superhero movie. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like a fake, cheesy bullshit.
And again, they stole from DC. Yeah. The Wonder Woman theme that came in Batman versus Superman, and then it, of course, was reprised as the main Wonder Woman theme in Wonder Woman, and it's awesome. And it's like this guitar riff and these drums. It's awesome. It gets you excited when you're watching Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. It's her music. It sounds very Led Zeppelin. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, the Thor Ragnarok trailer comes out, and it's wah! And it's like they just anyway. That's not my point. My point is this: they cut back to do the interview for the movie, and I guess the anchor on the show fucks up because he goes, "This is a huge spoiler, people. So if you have not seen this, you don't listen if you care." He goes. So you
wait? Are you about to spoil something?
Oh yeah, huge.
From about Thor Ragnarok?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's such not a spoiler that they acted like it was a huge...
Okay. All right, well then you gotta let people know.
Trust me, you won't care. I just said it's a huge spoiler.
I don't care, but people do care.
I'm saying this is a big...
I'm 36 years old. I don't care about spoilers at all anymore.
If you're into the Thor, this is a spoiler.
Yeah.
Here it comes. The bad girl, the bad guy in the movie is a woman. Bad woman in the movie, whatever. The villain. Excuse me. The guy goes, so this villain, your sister, she's trying to kill you through the whole movie. So your sister keeps trying to kill you. And Chris Hemsworth goes, "Oh, mate, no, not cool. You can't, come on." And it's like, because that was a big reveal. And it's like, this is your big fucking reveal? You've been fighting your fucking brother for 2 movies. Uh-huh. Okay, and he keeps coming the fuck back. We can't get rid of Loki. Right. And now there's going to be a sister nobody's ever heard of. And it's just shit. It's just shit. It's shit writing. It's shit movie making. And I can't... I'm so scared that I'm going to go see the new Star Wars and be like, this is just like every other goddamn fucking thing that comes out of these studios.
But you've liked all of them, so why are you worried about it?
Because I'm worried that not that movies have gotten worse, but that I've gotten to a point in my life where I just can see the writing on the wall and I just can't enjoy it anymore.
They did
with studio stuff.
Yeah. They did a very, I would say, almost disturbing South Park about this, about how you stop enjoying things at a certain age. And I'll find it and send you the links you can download or whatever. But it was so depressing to me because I was like, yeah, it's true. Just like how everything just starts to suck. So it's like, it's an age-old question for me. Am I old and I've seen too much stuff so I don't like anything anymore, or is stuff worse? And I think, honestly, it's both. But I know for a fact movies are worse. There's just no question about it.
I agree.
Now, the guy who's like, no movie's as good as Goonies. Goonies is the best. That guy's an idiot.
Right.
However, we're getting maybe one truly great movie a year, and you used to get 3-4 a summer.
I can't remember the last time I saw something put out by a studio of any kind.
No.
Outside of the the truly indie studios, which there are not many left. But outside of those, you go and see stuff and you just go, Jesus fucking Christ, man. And if it's not this cookie cutter homogenized bullshit, it's some art house dickweed jerking himself off to the point where you're like, oh, why don't you just go paint a picture with your own cum? You know what I mean? Like, it's there's no winning. There's no winning.
And folks, head on over to the Patreon this week if you'd like to purchase a painting that Joe and I made with our own cum. It's only $20, which I think is very reasonable, especially if you take the cum and make a baby out of it. You get sort of a half me, half Joe, half you if you're a lady.
And if they sell out, folks, don't worry. We'll keep them coming.
Oh, there'll always be plenty, I assure you.
Let's wrap this damn thing up.
Yeah, I think if we're discussing our cum, it's time. Folks, thank you. This is a week of thank yous. The Patreon, it means a lot. We talked about it on the last one. It means a lot. It's a hassle as two grown men to get over and do this every week, but to know we get a little change in our pockets, it's nice. And as I was discussing the way over here, a couple people complained about it, the price or whatever. If you don't want it, you don't have to pay for it, folks. You're getting 4 free episodes a month. And if you
confused me that there were a few complaints like it's too much for the extra episode. It's like, but it's an extra episode,
right? If you want the 5th, then look at it like this, and you're paying, if it's 10 a month, you're paying $2 a piece for them or something. Like,
how about also for 2.5 years we did it with no money?
It's all been free. So yeah, I mean, technically you've been getting this free forever. It's just something we got to do, or else the podcast stops, and we really very much appreciate it.
We do.
We had a moment. I know we alluded to it on air, but I don't know if you're aware of how very close we came to packing it all in. All these ads that we've done, let's just be real with you. For all these ads that we've done thus far, Joe and I have each pocketed $125. Now that might be a fault of our host, I don't know, but I mean, I'm just telling you, we're not rolling in it from this podcast, and we really appreciate those of you who did. And we're not putting any pressure on those of you who didn't. But if you want that bonus episode, I'll tell you, it's a good one.
And God damn it, I didn't want to sit through Blade Runner 2049.
True.
There's sacrifice happening here.
Look, folks, I got off work today. I wanted to go directly to bed. Instead, I watched Cult of Chucky on my phone at the gym so that I could do this. I never would have seen Cult of Chucky. We're doing it. We're doing it.
So thank you for your support.
Thank you for the Facebook page, which is fantastic. Thanks for the tweets, etc. Now, do we need to do a weekly shout out of names, or are we doing a monthly shout out of names? Do we have new?
I think it's. Oh shit! I don't know. I guess bi-weekly.
We'll do a bi-weekly.
Wait, is this the last episode of the month though?
Nope.
There's one more.
Halloween, yeah.
Okay, so then we'll do it again on Halloween to get anybody we might have missed the first.
Yeah, time. I think that's best. We'll do every other week. We'll announce the new names. But yeah, guys, thank you very much. I am on Twitter, Instagram at the Patrick Walsh. My show Living Biblically is more than likely premiering in January, but I don't know. I'm just trying to get that word out. We haven't started promos yet. I'm telling you, it's a funny show. Joe?
Joe DeRosa Comedy on Instagram. Come follow me, please, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.